بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين وآله الطيبين الطاهرين وأصحابه المنتجبين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. نحن في اليوم الثاني من دورة Modern Language التي يقيمها الاتحاد الدولي للمبدعين بالتعاون مع جامعة الفرات الأوسط وبالتنسيق مع High Global Education. محاضرة اليوم من كلية Erican. كلية Erican أخذت على مدى 5 سنوات أفضل كلية في ماليزيا. هنالك 3 محاضرين اليوم. المحاضر الأول سيكون دكتور إسلام. دكتور إسلام, you can begin your presentation.
Okay. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I'm Dr. Aslam Khan, the Executive Vice Chairman of Erican Education Group, Malaysia. And today we are going to share with you Erican Online English Language Education, making a difference and changing lives in the new normal. Can you all hear me now?
Yes, the sound is clear.
Okay, good. Now, Erican Education Group consists of Erican College, Erican Language Center, Erican School of Languages, and Erican Training. And the man behind Erican Education Group is none other than Dato' Eric Chong. He's our founder, chairman, and CEO. And also the super English teacher, educator, and educationist of Erican Education Group. Dato' Eric Chong has more than 30 years of experience as an educationist and has educated more than 350,000 learners of English language. And he is also the author of the very interesting book titled Yes You Can. So, in Erican, we don't teach only, we educate. There's a difference between teaching and educating. In teaching, we just show or explain to do something, to encourage someone to accept as a fact or principle, to give information about or instruction in, to cause someone to learn or understand something, to induce by example or punishment to do or not to do something. But in Erican, we educate. Educate means we inspire, we guide, we exemplify, we cause someone to apply and express, we empower, we enlighten, and we illuminate. So as an educator, we give intellectual, moral, and social instruction. And as an educator, we are experienced and trusted advisors. And as educators, we advise and show the way. So in Erican, we educate. So that's why we say our philosophy in education in Erican is very clear. In Erican, we change lives and make a difference through education. And in Erican, we go in line with the latest development in the world. Now we are in the fourth industrial revolution, or we call it IR 4.0. And we know that IR 4.0 is based on the use of cyber physical systems. And we are using the cyber physical systems in our education. So therefore, we keep abreast with the latest development in the world of education and in the industrial revolution. And we also look at Education 4.0, because in Education 4.0 there are 9 trends. And in Erican's education, whether it is Erican College, Erican Training, Erican School of Languages, or Erican English Language Education, we subscribe to Education 4.0, which is anytime, anywhere, it's personal, flexible delivery, peers and mentors. It is why and where. It's practical application. It's modular and projects. Student ownership. Evaluated, not examined. So this is what Erican education is all about. So this is where we change lives and make a difference through education. And as we move into the new normal, now we are in the new normal. So in the new normal, we are keeping abreast and we are looking at the situation and coming up with education which are very suitable to be used in the new normal. So our education in the new normal is according to the needs of our learners in this current situation. And look at our learners. Our learners are all online. This is what we call online learning and teaching. This is what we call remote learning. So in Erican, we are into this mode of remote learning and teaching. So, generally, in Erican education, we are looking at whether it is Erican College, Erican School of Languages, Erican Training, or Erican Language Centers where we conduct Erican Online English. So we all subscribe to the new normal and follow the pedagogical system, the pedagogical platform, and the pedagogical principles in our education and also in Erican Online English. So we use technology because Erican Online English is very technologically based. Okay? So these are the points that we need to know when we say technology as a tool. We provoke and try and master skills. So therefore, what we are trying to say is that technology is used to provoke, to try and master the skills. And we encourage our students to co-create. And we inspire our students to explore beyond the tangible, and we raise interest in topics, themes, and context. And of course, we motivate our learners to engage in the real world. So this is what Erican Online English is all about when we are looking at technology as a tool. And our instructional model, all right, we have our own pedagogical platform and pedagogical model, and also pedagogical principles. And this 5E instructional model is also embedded in Erican Online English. Engage. Students are engaged with a challenging situation. Prior knowledge is activated. Questions are provoked. Explore. Students investigate the phenomenon. Prior knowledge is challenged. Ideas are created. Explain. Students explain the phenomenon. New knowledge is gained and applied. Elaborate. Students apply their knowledge towards new situations. Knowledge is deepened and extended. And in evaluation, students reflect on their knowledge and the learning process and assessment. So we have subscribed to the principle of instructional model. And our online teaching methodology, you see, it is activate, is share, learn, apply, and move. So we have embarked on this methodology to give the best to our learners. So therefore, you can see that Erican online education is in line with education in the global sense, the principles, and it is also looking at the underpinning principles, underlying principles. We look at the methodology, we look at the pedagogical aspect of it, because it is education. So Erican Online English is based on all the elements, all the concepts, all the principles and the theories of education, because Erican Online English always give, okay? Erican Online English always gives the learners the best possible English language education. And we have the super teacher. Okay? Who is the super teacher? None other than our founder, chairman, and CEO. That's Dato' Eric Chong. And all of you know that. The world knows that Dato' Eric Chong is one of the best, one of the super teachers in the world of English language education. Later on you will see that some of his video clips contain one of the most exciting teaching and learning in the field of English language education. So look at him, and this is what he does. He is our super duper teacher, you can say that. Alright? And he's such a passionate person and very knowledgeable in English language education, because he has been involved in English language education for more than 30 years, as I mentioned earlier, and he has reached out to 350 students of English language and still reaching out to more students. As a conclusion, in Erican, we believe new kinds of problems require new methods of solutions, and new methods of solutions require new ways of thinking, and new ways of thinking is for what? For quality and effective learning and teaching. Therefore, Erican online English is based on all these theories and concepts because we believe in giving the best, nothing but the best. Alright? So before I say thank you, I'd like to show you a video clip about how our super teacher, our founder, our chairman and CEO, okay, can you see the screen in Facebook?
Yes, yes, sir. We can see it.
Okay, I'm going to share one of the video clips, yeah? And then you see how he teaches. Mr. Haider, how many people are watching us?
It's almost 15 now, but the number is increasing.
Okay. Okay, it's coming. Okay. Are we ready?
Yes, yes, sir.
And I say we English teachers are also the most important people in this world. Agree? Now why? That's because we English teachers can make this world a better place. How, you may ask? By teaching English to people from around the world. This way, everybody will be able to communicate in a common language. This way, everybody will understand everybody else better. So, doesn't this make our world a better place? So, what are we waiting for? Let's go and teach English to the world. With Erican Online English, we're here, we're there, we're everywhere.
Okay, so you get glimpses of Erican Online English, and Douglas Clark will be sharing a bit more on the content and how the English Erican Online English is conducted. So with that, I would like to say thank you on the opening address and some information regarding Erican education and Erican Online English. Let me just bring you back again. If you see this, then you can see, who our chairman is, and then when he becomes the teacher, he is this. Okay? You can see that transformation from the chairman, founder, or CEO, he becomes the super teacher. So you will see some of the video clips later on. So with that, thank you very much. And after this, you will be listening to Mr. Douglas Clark and also Dr. Elil Jah. Thank you. I'll hand over now to Mr. Douglas Lark. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dr. Islam, for your interesting topic and introduction about Erican.
Yes. It's my pleasure. It's raining heavily here. That's why the connection is also affected a little bit, yeah?
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much. And Assalamu alaikum. And I'll pass on to our academic director, Douglas Clark, and then followed by our international marketing director, Dr. Elil Jah. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, I'll take just a minute to switch a presenter.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Douglas.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
I'd like to
sharing
thank.
now.
Okay. Great. Great.
Okay, you can.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me know when it shows up. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me. And my guru, Dr. Aslam, mentioned my name is Douglas W. Lark. I'm the Director of Academic for Erican Language Center, and I've proudly been an Ericanite for 2 decades now. It's my pleasure to just give you a short intro to the Erican Online English program. This is something that is, of course, it's a part of me because I've been one spearheading it. But there's a lot of people behind this, a lot of work, a lot of research, and a lot of time put into making it happen. And in fact, even though this came out during the MCO may have sped up our use of the online English program, but it by no means came out solely as a result of MCO, because the fact is that we were already looking into this, designing material for it, long before February of 2020. So it simply gave it the impetus to move ahead and actually put it into full effect. Okay, I'm going to start off. Why is the Erican Online English program so important? Why did we put so much effort into it? Well, the world had changed, and we know that. But the needs of young language learners and old language learners alike, they have not changed. And we know that language centers and schools itself had to close their doors. They couldn't bring people in, so there was no more face-to-face. So schools and language centers alike faced this point that no longer could they have students come and get together and learn in a traditional classroom environment. So, as we all know, it necessitated moving toward a more online system. Students need to keep learning. And it's not a matter of just scanning in every single page of the textbook that you had, putting it up on the screen and saying, okay, let's try to do it this way. Online learning can happen, but you need to have material that fits the online platform, that is made for the online platform, that will make sure that their time online is spent most effectively and in a manner that, encourages online learning by children, teens, and even adults. Now, I want to talk about some of the features. We have age-level appropriate material. And what that means is that we have different sections depending on, if we have material that, for children, we have sets of materials made for teenagers, And then we even have our adult-based program. That way, you know, we don't have it so general that teens and adults are sharing the same material, and we're talking about dating in one part, and then the other one we're talking about how did you meet your spouse? And the teenagers are going, I don't have one yet. So we wanted to make sure that whatever we had fit the needs of the audience that we were teaching. We also wanted it to prepare the student for the mini Cambridge exam, Young Learners English, Main Suite. For those of you not familiar with the Cambridge exams, these are exams that are run internationally that allow the student to assess their current level of English on an international scale. That means it's not just how good you are in your town and your country, this is on a worldwide scale. So if you're told that you have an A level, which is one of the top levels for, you know, let's say the first certificate of English, then that means at that level, you are established at A worldwide compared to all the students across the world. And this, again, is for all ages. We have Young Learners English. We have the Main Suite. And we've even, Erican has even run exams and courses for the BCE, the Business Certificate of English courses as well. It's a systematic buildup of all language skills, grammar and vocabulary. And what that means is that we start from the very basics, like very simple sentences, very simple knowledge of grammar, I am a boy, she is a girl, and build up to adding on new functions, but also spiraling around back to the grammar point again. But the next time we visit a grammar or a vocabulary point, it's one step higher. So they're slowly building up their own confidence, and at the same time, they're learning it in a pattern and formation that expedites the learning process. We also take care of the skills, reading, listening, writing, and speaking. All of those are taken into consideration. You cannot have a very good grounding in a language if you focus on just, let's say, reading and writing. If you ignore listening and speaking, then you can't communicate that way. And there are some people who focus only on listening and speaking, but when it comes to writing something, they're not able to. We encounter this all the time. Erican's goal is to make sure that no one comes out like that. They come out well-rounded. So the levels that we mentioned, we have levels for young learners. We actually have 3 levels for that. Teen learners, we have 3 levels. And adult learners, we have actually 4 levels. And what they do is it takes them from a starting point up to an intermediate gradient point, and finally to a more advanced one, which then can also lead them on to other studies. And the idea is at the end of each of these levels, there's a Cambridge exam that we would encourage them to take that would allow them to have a physical representation of how they did on the level, on the time that they spent on that level. Have they really met the mark? Well, this exam will show them clearly. Now, what is the element of the Erican Online English program? In a simple word, I would say it catered to the need of the learners. And what I mean by that, and it seems like a simple thing to put on there, but basically, we're here to take what the student or the adult need at that time. For example, the students need help to build up their grammar and vocabulary in a way that not only can they communicate, but they will do well in school, scholastically, so that when they're asked to produce present continuous in class, they're able to do it well, and they're able to understand the terms in it and use it well. Do they have the vocabulary that they should have at their level in school? We want to make sure that more than enough vocabulary is thrown at them, so when they're done our course, they should actually be above the other level, in that current level of school. That's what we aim for. And for the adult, we want them to feel that they have all the language that they need to communicate in the modern business world. We're not going to go and say, write a letter to a pen pal. We're not going to tell you to, count these blocks or something like that. We're going to want them to do tasks that actually facilitate, what they're going to need the language for. Communication in the meeting, making business phone calls, complaint handling, making a complaint. All of these things, talking to someone about a meeting, all of these things are things they need. Now, our lead teacher class, we actually have two classes. One's done by the lead teacher, and it's featuring the enigmatic Datuk Eric Chong. My guru, of course, had already explained to you a bit about him. But, you always say, how much more can I say? But there's much more to say about him because he's so well-rounded and he's very knowledgeable. And he's the one who teaches the theory of our lesson. He teaches students the grammar. He teaches them the reading and the vocabulary, and he teaches them the writing. All the theory is taught by him, but in a fun and engaging manner. And you can just see some shots of how he goes about teaching the various classes and how lively and dynamic he does, and yet effective. It looked like fun in the first few slides, but you can also see he points out common errors. He knows the common errors made by students, and he is very good at pointing them out and helping students to overcome these. But, they always say, a picture is worth 1,000 words, but a video doubly so. I'd like to show you a small clip from one of his classes, if I may. Okay. So that's a little bit of in class, and I'm sure a lot of you are saying, wait a second, I was just getting into it. Well, all I can say is there's a lot more, and they're all interesting like that. Our other classes, the other class that our students run into is run by our assistant teachers. These are run by qualified and experienced teachers throughout the country. They are the ones that handle the practical side of our classes. They do a lot of the actual practical work, where they do a lot more reading, where a lot more listening and speaking. They do more production and interact with the teachers in that way. So that's their second dose of the material that has been introduced by our lead teacher. And you can just see here how the classes look, how everyone joins in. And the lead teacher, you can see down below, facilitates the class, gets everyone involved, and makes sure by watching all the students that each one of them is engaged and is involved in the classroom. Another element that we have included is something called Grandpa's Eric Story Time. This features Datuk Eric Chong and his talented crew, and a series of interesting story videos. And we make them for both young and teen learners. And this is basically a part of edutainment. We entertain, but we educate at the same time. Of course, this is nothing new, but it's a tried and true method, and Eric had followed up this legacy with his own. Students will see it in class and are also required to watch it later and answer questions and do activities based upon it. Their vocabulary and writing assignment assigned based upon what they see. And you can see here's just a few samples of the many videos that our fearless founder has done on there. And there's always something different and unique, something amazing and something interesting. Again, the proof is in the pudding. So please allow me to give you just a few short moments of Datuk Eric and his shows. Okay, I believe you cannot hear the video.
Yeah, there is no sound, just
Okay, sorry about that. I'm not sure why there's no sound to that. But let me just say then that this is an example of the production quality that we have. That's what Eric opens each one, and he does an opening and a closing, explaining it, and then they do a nice story that explains that has all the learning points and a lot of the vocabulary that need to be taught. Now, let me just show you that actually meant for children. So I'm going to go to the next one. This is the ones that are made for teens. And since I don't have the sound, unfortunately, I'm just going to talk about it. Again, you see it, Grandpa Eric. And this is where Grandpa Eric will explain about what you're going to watch and ask you a few pre-questions before you watch the video. He introduces the concept of the video and asks you a few questions to consider while you watch it. Then, of course, you have the story itself. And you can see, of course, the work that has gone into it. Now, this is pretty, this is nice, and it's entertaining. But remember, everything in here is about grammar points that we include and also vocabulary, because they're constantly learning new vocabulary through the method of the video. So they're constantly learning, and then at the end, you will have the return of Grandpa Eric, who will then discuss elements again of the story and ask you questions and what he feels the learning point of it was. Then he will assign homework for the various levels to do, questions, and there's even later quizzes about the various vocabulary taught inside of the video. Okay, so that's just a small preview. So there's only one question left I get when I usually present this to people. When do you want to join? This is what we say to most people when we present the online program, because we feel that what we've created is exciting, interesting. There's a really fun layer, there's a dynamic atmosphere to it, but at the same time, we've also taken something that had been built upon strong academic background and years of experience in providing language training. We take feedback from our teachers constantly, changing, altering, and amending, and improving our syllabus. And I think that's what made our online program very successful in Malaysia. And I have babbled on enough about this wonderful program, but I want to thank you all very, very much for taking the time to listen to me. And I'll hand you off to my very good friend, Dr. Leal, who will explain the marketing side of things. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Douglas, for your interesting topic. The way for learning through movie, and it's very, very. Dr. Eli?
Yes, Mr. Haider, I'm here.
Yeah, still, sound now is not clear. I will switch presenter now.
Okay.
Okay, I presenting. You can show your presentation, but the sound, Doctor, not clear yet.
Okay, Is it better now? Can you see the presentation on the screen?
We can see your slide, but still the sound not clear. If you can make it more clear.
Okay, let me just try again.
Okay.
I'm just plugging in additional speakers. That should make it better. Okay, is it better now? I've added on an additional speaker. Is it better?
Still there is echo and noise.
I think it's because of the heavy rain here. Let me check. I think this is the best that is coming at the moment. Can you see the input control in the on the screen as well?
Okay, Doctor, if you use external mic, if you can disconnect it and use the PC, because there is noise with the sound. We cannot hear.
Okay, I've connected only with the PC now. Is it better? Any better? Any good? I've connected now only with my PC. Is it okay? Mr. Haider, is it okay now?
Little bit. If you can talk louder, it will be better.
Okay, I will try my best to talk louder. Can you see the screen though? Is the screen on?
Yeah, we can see your presentation.
Okay. Now, very good afternoon or rather good evening from KL, Malaysia. I'm so sorry, it's raining extremely heavy here, so there may be some interruptions. I will try my level best to speak as loud as I can. I'm Dr. Elio. I'm the Director of Business Development Erican Education Group. I'm here to talk about the School of Linguistics Erican and a little bit about business development and the ways of which we can collaborate together. Of course, Dr. Aslam and Mr. Douglas have spoken about the founder, none other than the man behind the whole language group or Erican Education Group is Dr. Eric Chong, the founder and chairman, and one of the best English educators in the country. Was established since the year 1990 with a network of over 20 centers across Malaysia. We have a student population of about 10,000 and we've graduated over 350,000 students who have been successfully trained by us. And our aim is to improve the language level of students to ensure to help them to communicate more successfully in their career, in higher learning, at work, in the industry. These are the products or services that we have. We have the Erican International English, Erican Cambridge English Plus, Erican Young Learners Plus. They start from the age of 5 to 6. IELTS preparations course, we do full-time and part-time as well for the adult students. Summer winter camp, teachers training program, English for specific purpose. This could be anything. Say for example, if you come from a business industry, this could be English for business communication purpose. Say for example, if you come from the hospitality industry, then it could be English for hospitality purpose. Say for example. So this is what I meant by English for specific purpose. Then we have business English. Just to go by some of our achievements, we are the Authorized Examination Center of the University of Cambridge. Since the year 2004, we have marked the national brand in Malaysia, and there were only 15 outstanding companies selected by the government every year. And Erican is the only language center given this award. So we're very proud of that. We also hold the record in the Malaysian Book of Records for the largest English class in Malaysia. I'm just going to go to the Cambridge English exams. Why is this so important? Because it's internationally recognized. The certificate is internationally recognized. It also then improves their real-life English skills. We prepare students for the Cambridge exams. They're all exam-based. All that you've seen Mr. Douglas has explained, they're all the Cambridge exam-based programs to develop communication, writing, everyday work, life, and study. So to set goals and increase the motivation for all English learners. Of course, to stand out from the crowd, if you look at today's job market in terms of international, it is extremely competitive. And one of it is definitely English language communication. Cambridge exams are also recognized by all universities. This is to show you the Cambridge English exams that we have from the young learners, from starters, movers, flyers. They go up to PET. The preliminary English test, then they go up to KET, which is the key English test. They go up to FCE, which is the first cert in English, and that's how they go on to CAE, which is the certificate in advanced English, and the CPE. CPE is about IELTS 8 to 8.5 equivalent, if you're just wondering how the proficiency level is. So this is basically just to reiterate and summarize what you have seen from Mr. Douglas. And this is the intensive English program that we have, and equivalent to the Cambridge equal exams. Now, a little bit about the business development and collaboration models that we can have. The innovation partnership is that, if you see, I've broken it down to community, academic, industry, and government. We are well known to train international government staff, so government bodies, their staff. We have done a lot of projects with Africa, Sudan, Middle East countries, Asia countries. So yeah, we do a lot of government-to-government projects as well. Then it's the community and industry. We can always have flexible cross-studies between different educational institutions, utilizing digital media, of course. And there are new ways to combine work and study. So we can also offer English while you're studying or while you're at work, or in the combination of both. So here we have versatile study cards. We can include English as part or methods of accusation as well. These are group awareness. This is we're doing it in groups. Basically, you're fostering English language in a group. It could be as an organization, it could be in a particular industry, it could be as a government project, it could be through a union. So these are in bulk, basically. So it's a group awareness. So you can then see how it works, how you foster it, how it mediates. So what kind of cooperation will go on. So I've just given a brief diagram about that. Types of collaborations that you can have with our institute. It's either through networks, it's either through affiliations, as I've mentioned earlier, strategic alliances, strategic co-funding. This is where government projects comes in, or individual projects as well. Public-private partnership, franchise. Now, just to explain a little bit more about the collaboration model, I'll just give you an example. Let's say, for example, you choose to have a franchise model. So you can do all the masterclass online with Dr. Eric, and probably the tutorial sessions back in Iraq itself with their own teachers. And the teachers will be trained by us, say for example. So that is one way of doing it. So based on that, I've stated a few ways of collaboration. The next one is collective impact initiative. So these are a few modes that we can collaborate together. And I hope you had a good insight and a brief about English proficiency, English language, Cambridge International English, the certification that you'll attain upon completing each course. So thank you for your time. I'll pass it over to Mr. Haider. Thank you, Mr. Haider.
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Eli. I will just open the question and answer. I ask everyone if we have any question. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. انتهى وقت المحاضرة. حاليا فقط إذا عندكم أي سؤال أو جواب ممكن تسألون المحاضرين. حنقل البرنامج إلى وضع muted all، وأي شخص عنده أي سؤال ممكن يسوون unmute. أي سؤال يوجه للمحاضرين؟ Okay, I think there is no questions. Thank you very much. Thank you for Erican College. Thank you, Mr. Islam, Dr. Islam, Mr. Douglas, Dr. Eli. Thank you very much for your interest topic. All the presentation has been recorded and it will be shown to the university and the Union of Creators and anyone interested.